This video is going to be an input lag comparison between Game Motion Plus on my Samsung S95C and OLED Motion Pro on the LG C1. These are the motion clarity settings that we have available on these TVs, and it is so interesting to see how good is Game Motion Plus for gaming, how low latency it really is. Because most people think that interpolation on a TV for gaming, that's a no-go. Because usually you cannot use these features that almost every TV has for gaming on game mode. But there are some people who even use these kind of features outside of game mode with a very high input lag just because it looks better in motion, right? But now, how good is this Samsung feature? Let me tell you, I have not looked close. I am going to do it here with you right now in real time. And we're going to try to figure out which one is better. So before we enable the feature, let's just take a look at them side by side without the feature at all. And of course, there is no difference whatsoever. They are both OLEDs, QD OLED, RGB OLED. The input lag is as good as it gets. So right now I have 60 FPS. We can see this jump here. Exactly the same. I mean, it's not even worth trying to figure out which one is better. They're going to be equally as good. Now let's do this. I am going to turn on Game Motion Plus on my Samsung S95C, and let's take a look at it. Okay, so level 2 is, let me show you right now, this is interpolation max out, because there is a way to just reduce the interpolation, and maybe the input lag is gonna be better if you do that. But right now, as you can see, blur and judder reduction are on 10. So this is max out interpolation. So now the C1 doesn't have Motion Pro. So C1 is sample and hold, no motion clarity setting. So now let's see if we can notice the difference. Okay, I'm gonna jump. Yeah, I can see this one's a little bit late. Okay, it's so difficult to see. Let's take a look at this other animation. On this one, I cannot even. Yeah, if I jump like this, I can see, bro, this is so small. Let me tell you this. If you lower the in-game settings, the graphics, so your GPU is below 85%, you are probably going to get a higher improvement, a boost on your responsiveness, better than if you just turn this on. I mean, basically, you can compensate for the penalty on the input lag by just lowering the graphics of the game. And it is so worth it because you get double the motion clarity. When you move the camera, it's going to look much better, okay? But yeah, it is there. The difference is definitely there. No question about that. Now let's turn on OLED Motion Pro on the C1 and let's see if that's actually, if that's worse. Let me take a look at the recording. Yeah, so you can see that. Let me turn on OLED Motion Pro High on the LG C1, and now let's take a look at it. It is off. I'm gonna turn it on, and things should get even, or maybe this one's gonna be better. I don't know. Let's see. Let's go and turn it on to high. Huh. Let's see now. And they look the same to me. Let me step back. It is so difficult to determine. I'm looking at the center. So when I'm trying to compare this, I look at the center between the two screens to see if I can notice the difference. I'm sure on the video you can see it better than me. I cannot. Yeah. I cannot see it. I couldn't say which one is better, but if I had to bet, I don't know. I cannot tell. I cannot tell. Let me keep trying. Let me keep trying here. See if I can notice maybe while aiming. Ta 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 ta. Huh. Maybe the S95C is a little bit more responsive, but I don't know, man. The C1 is more clear though. It looks a little bit more clear. This is like 153 FPS like, and the Samsung is like it's 120 FPS literally. So on the C1 is more clear, but I think the S95C might be a little bit more responsive. So I'm thinking like if I'm playing a shooter right now with this with this aim right here, and looking at the S95C, looking at the C1, yeah, man, the S95C is more responsive. Wow, that is really impressive. Let me tell you. That is really impressive. If that's the case, you let me know what you saw on the video, because actually I'm gonna watch the video and probably you can see better the difference on the video because the TVs are farther away, and when you step back you can see that difference better. That's absolutely incredible. So now let's do the opposite. Let me turn off Game Motion Plus on the S95C to see if we can see a bigger difference. So now we're going to test how good is the input lag of the LG C1 with OLED Motion Pro. Oh, big difference. Big difference. So yeah, I can definitely tell you the S95C with Game Motion Plus has lower input lag than the LG C1 with OLED Motion Pro. And the reason is right now I can clearly see the input lag difference between no Game Motion Plus and OLED Motion Pro on the LG C1. I can clearly see that difference. You see, this is so much more later. And when I had Game Motion Plus and no OLED Motion Pro on the C1, I was struggling to see the difference. I was able to see it, but I was struggling. Now it is so obvious. Now with these jumps here, yeah, definitely. Definitely, the difference is so much bigger. So much bigger. Wow. So maybe this is like, I don't know, 11 milliseconds? Maybe one frame, maybe 16 milliseconds. I don't know. So I don't know about the measurements, but yeah, it is better. Wow. So now the thing is, that doesn't mean I would not use, I've used this LG C1 with OLED Motion Pro a lot. It is my favorite feature. And the reason why I still have the C1 and I will keep it forever. It is absolutely amazing, especially if you can reach 100 FPS, 100 Hertz. The motion clarity is amazing, and now you have no flickering whatsoever. And of course it works at 120, but I've used this feature mostly at 100 because I can get 100 FPS easier on games like this. So for example, I beat the entire Amazing Spider-Man with 100 FPS, and that is definitely one of the best gaming experience I had. Spectacular, so fluid, absolutely amazing. So this one is a little bit more demanding, but I can still get 100 FPS locked if I lower the settings. So yeah, I am never going to get rid of the C1 ever because this feature is amazing. But I am very pleasantly surprised with Game Motion Plus. Now let's do this. Let me turn them on again, both, and see if I can now that I am biased and I know that this one is already better with the bias, let me see if I can now notice the difference. Yeah, I can see it now. So once you know which one is better, now you can see the difference. Wow, big surprise. Honestly, I was not expecting to be able to notice the difference whatsoever. But yeah, the thing is, on the C1 we have another level, and once you get 100 or 120 FPS input lag, is irrelevant, because just the rendering latency. Oh, there was a stutter there. The rendering is a lot lower. The latency of rendering the game is a lot lower. You're getting 120 FPS on an OLED. Yeah, I mean, the input lag might be like 10 milliseconds. It doesn't really matter. It's so smooth, so responsive. It's absolutely amazing. But you need 120 FPS, no drops, and that's very difficult to get for most games. Actually, this is one of the best optimized games, I would say. One of the best looking games on the PC. Very, very, very well optimized. It runs amazing. Runs like a dream. Yeah, that stutter might be because of the game was saving or something, but usually it doesn't stutter at all. So yeah, I can actually enjoy this feature on the LG C1 with a game like this, but for most games, I can definitely get 60 FPS. So the thing is, with the S95C, I can use full HDR brightness with all that color vibrancy for all the games. Okay, so I only have 60 FPS. The TV is doubling that to 120, and I get full HDR brightness. And with the C1, I'm losing brightness. It is better, it's far superior. But the thing is, yeah, it's difficult to take advantage of that. Now, I get a 5090, okay? And I can actually push 120 FPS rock solid on a game. There is no way I am not going to play that game on the C1. No way. That's 100%. I don't care how good the colors, the brightness, the vibrancy, I do not care. That is so awesome. If you can get 120 FPS on this LG C1 and use this feature, OLED Motion Pro High, we're talking about another level. It's a different gaming experience. Absolutely amazing. I just hit the remote here. So yeah, that's why I'm keeping the C1 for sure, and this is a legendary TV just because of this feature. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you have any questions, there are some news coming to the channel, but I'll leave that to for the next video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, and if you have any questions.